Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. Hope you bear with me. I've just been having a couple rough days, and I'm trying to get my mood uplifted, but just been having kind of a hard time. So talking about woolly things, earth is something that I enjoy, so we will get into it. So as far as finished objects, nothing to show you guys at the moment. I'm still working on my spin for the Jaunty spin along. So I am doing the Jaunty spin along with Andrea Mowry of Dre Renee Knits to spin wool for her to knit up her Jaunty shawl. So I did do showed you guys last time. The Multifarious Nature Advent is all spun up here. And I'm I only have like maybe a quarter, less than a quarter. I guess I have about a quarter of half of the braid. My math is not going to math in my head right now, but I'm very close to finishing that braid. I thought I could do it by today, so I could show you guys at least the singles, but the other single looks very similar to this one. This is by Lair the Llama. Like I said, my brain's not working so well right now. Lair the Llama, and it's called A Hint of the Holidays. It's a really pretty colorway. And it does remind me of kind of a vintage holiday color. So mixing that with my Advent to make my Jaunty is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to knit some of this colorway and then knit each colorway of the day and put this in between each. So it'll kind of be an interesting stripe effect. And as the shawl gets wider, the stripes will get narrower, which will be kind of cool. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a really, really fun experience, something fun to do. And it's nice to join along with everybody. I'm not very active on the Ravelry page at the moment, so I need to get on there and see what others have been posting. I think that'll be uplifting as well. So I need to do that. And let me get my timer going here so I behave myself. Okay. What else? What have I been knitting on? Well, other than preparing for the Jaunty along, I totally forgot to talk about my shop update end of things. There's not really any shop update on the website right now. I'm working on I'm testing different bats because I'm really trying to get prepared for Michigan Fiber Festival. I have a decent amount of time to do that. It's not until August, but for those of you that are also in slow-paced craft, which I'm assuming many of you are, hand-processed bats take a long time. So, and I am a one-woman show, so I am definitely starting like way in advance. And so I've been messing around with a couple different breeds and such, some really interesting bats. So I have some that are, kind of more, they're medium to fine, like lean towards fine wool, but then I love my medium wools. And I was just messing around with some North Country? It's either North County or North Country. I think it's North Country Cheviot. Really nice medium, very bouncy, low lanolin content. When I scoured it, it basically removed like all the lanolin. I always say there's probably a little lanolin in there just because I always I want to say the last rinse that I do or scour, it's a rinse. I do put I use different kinds, but I've been using Kookaburra recently, and that does have lanolin. A lot of my scouring agents have lanolin. Excuse me. So there'll be a little in there, but it's not like compared to like down breeds that have like a significant amount of lanolin, and even after scouring them, there's still a little in there because I like to leave it in there anyway. This one definitely is very low on the lanolin end of things. And so I think it'd be kind of a fun one. It leans more towards the browns. It's a multicolor fleece, but it's really pretty, which is interesting for North County Cheviot because North Country Cheviot, they tend to be white. So it's kind of interesting. So I thought that'd be kind of fun. So I'm messing around with that, and there's, oh gosh, I'm like digging into the wool shed right now, just trying to get myself organized, figure out what I want to do, what I want to process, what blends I want to do, because I do like to have some that are pure breed, like just the breed itself. It could be a cross sheep, but I mean, it's like the single fleece. And then there's other bats that have a mix. Like I have some Shetland with mohair, things like that. I have my trusty hot spiced apple cider. I'm actually wearing my little my blanket right now. This I made Advent, I think from, it was, well now I can't say last year, 2 years ago. This was a Advent swap that I did with my buddy out of Canada, and the gray in between is my Odette colorway, and I just kind of did that as an in between each color, so it looks semi-cohesive, even though all the colors are fun and different. So that was a fun project. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, the other projects that I've been working on, I'm sorry, I'm like really scatterbrained. Okay. I've been working on 2 projects quite a bit. And I actually worked on this other project last week and forgot to talk about it too. But this one I talked about. This is my, I knew I was going to do that. I pulled the needle out of my project. Oh dear. We're going to be very careful, and hopefully I won't drop. I had a feeling that was going to happen when I picked this up off the couch. Do you guys do this often? Let me see here. Hold on one second. Bear with me. I am going to put a removable stitch marker on here so that I can hopefully hold all my stitches. Just because of the way this design is, it'll be a bit of a bear if I lose track of what I'm at and drop stitches, because there's a lot of decreasing going on. But okay, now I just feel better about holding it. I did that. And I need to find my needle. It's probably on the couch still. Oh dear. Okay. This is the West Knit Mystery Shawl Long. Oh my gosh. Guys, I forgot to turn my light on. It's not dark in here, but the lighting is not great when it comes to, because it's so gray. We're definitely in the winter time here in Michigan, and we are notorious for very gray skies. That might be part of what's going on with me. I do get sensitive to a lot of when it's really dark for long periods of time. I don't get a lot of sunlight. I do get a little bit, it messes with me. So there, I think the colors are a little bit better right now, but we have, these are all Multifarious Nature colorways that I hand dyed. We have, this one is Hunter's Moon. Oh my goodness, you guys. Hunter's Moon is this dark blue-gray colorway. Held alpaca with the, like the alpaca fluff with an alpaca merino blend base. And then this you can see it better here, but I have, it's all a bunch of Hocus Pocus is the multicolor that's in here, speckled. Then there's Nightshade is that dark eggplant colorway. And then, Autumn Kiss is the super vibrant colorway that's in here too. So I have some decent progress on the modular section here. That is section 3. There are 4 sections total. I'm getting there. Almost done with section 3, kind of. I say kind of because I think they still have about the same amount to do with flies, but gives you an idea of what it looks like. I'm enjoying the modular knitting. It's not so bad. At least the knitting part's not so bad. The weaving in of ends, there will be quite a few to weave in. I don't know if you can see that. There's a ton of ends to weave in. So as I mentioned before, because they kind of line up in an area, I'm going to see if there's a way I can like weave it, or I don't know, braid it. If not, what will be will be. But I'm going to try to do the best to not make myself want to pull my hair out. We'll see about that. Anyway, it's a long project, as most Stephen West shawls are. I always think it's impressive if someone can complete a Stephen West shawl within the mystery knit along. I have done a couple. Did I do a couple? I've done one. Maybe I've only done one other mystery knit along with Stephen West. Yeah, maybe I've only done one. And that one I think I completed almost, sort of, in time. This one I started late, so I mean, like, I was late to the party, so I am definitely taking my sweet time on it. I'm trying, but I just work on it when I'm able because it does take some thought. This one definitely takes focus, where I've worked on other shawls, not by Stephen West, that don't take quite as much focus. This one takes quite a bit, but it's really fun. It's the Mystery Musicale by Stephen West, if you're interested, because I think it's available now to buy, even if you're not participating in the knit along, because it's in October. This was from October. But yeah, it's really fun. I love all the moody dark colors. This really does fit the mood of the hour, but I will say that this Autumn Kiss really brings some fun pop of color that is vibrant, and that makes me feel good. So I'm really enjoying that. It's the colorway that was inspired by the changing leaves. In Michigan, we get beautiful leaf changing because of all our seasons. We definitely get the 4 seasons here, and it's really beautiful. Some of the maple leaves, like, they're just so pretty. So that's what's really inspired this. Those, like, fire maple. So anyway, that's that one. I've been working on that in the evenings, and then the one I've been working on the most is a long time comeback kid, if you want to call it that. I'm about midway through row naturally, and actually, if I go really fast, I might be able to just finish off this row because I'm right near the end, and that way I can show you guys what it looks like so far. It's huge. So this is the Half and Half Triangles Wrap by Pearl Soho. It is a very well-known pattern. I am by no means the first person to knit it, and there's just so many people that have been knitting it, and I can see why. This is my second one. The first one I did is up there. I've done the large size for both of them, and I love this so much. If you are, I don't know, I thought for sure I would get bored out of my mind knitting this pattern because it's just knitting, really, and then they're like really long short rows basically. So I'm doing the version where I do a German German short row, not a wrap and turn. So the wrap and turn is what the pattern calls for. I have to be careful because this is definitely bigger than the width of my needles, and I will drop it. All right. Move this so I don't knock it over. So here we are. This is where I'm at so far. It's enormous. It's just huge. So I'm using scraps on this one. So the first one I did 2 colorways, and I think I did a touch of a third color because I ran out of the colors, but these are all different yarns. Like, this one is a boucle. That is some vintage yarn that I got from a thrift store. My mom actually found that one. And then this is my Winter is Coming colorway that I had remnants of from a sweater I knit for my friend's little baby. So I had some remnants, so I put that there. And then I have, this is from a winter advent box type thing from Woolberry, which I'm very sorry to hear that she is closing up shop. She is a beautifully talented yarn dyer, so that is sad, but I respect why she's doing it, that's for sure. And then this one is another one from the Woolberry winter box, and then this is my Balsam Fir colorway. So I've got varying, but as you can see, because of the German short row, the stripes kind of go at an angle, and it'll create a big triangle. And it's going to be striped, sort of. The stripes are varying sizes based on how much yarn I had to use and the width of the shawl. So it's really fun, and it's just really relaxing. If you are overwhelmed, like if you're dealing with overwhelm or you're just having a hard time in any sense of the word, there's just something about knitting back and forth and not having to really follow a pattern. It's so easy. The pattern is literally, it's a couple pages, but the actual pattern is a page long. It's so intuitive, and you can choose your own adventure. I think it's, what's her podcast? Try to remember. It's like, Edible Thoughts Makes. There we go. She has a really great tutorial about doing the German short row. It's not hard at all, but like she does a really good job of explaining it when it comes to this pattern. And it is a free pattern, so it's not like she's giving away the pattern. And this is where I showed you guys last time. So I was here last time. I've made this much progress, but this has been weeks of progress. So that's a lot of stitches. I'm trying to remember how many stitches are on this shawl when you cast it on the large size. I don't have the pattern with me, but it's really big. It's really big. I think it's, I don't know if it's around almost 400 stitches, but it makes a blanket. So it is a shawl that is, it's meant to be folded in half, so you create these two triangles, and it's really fun if you have good contrasting colors because you can see that stagger when you wear it wrapped. But I don't really wear it as a shawl. I wear them as blankets. So the first one I made is with, here, I'm going to show you. Bear with me. It's right here. Okay. It's also in old videos, but for the sake of the fact that it's right next to me because it's in my room here. This is the first one I made. So this is using strawberry shortcake. So strawberry shortcake is the pink, the very vibrant pink that's on here. And I decided not to use the third skein. I think I only did 2 skeins. And then what I decided to do is switch to my, what on earth? I'm telling you guys, my brain is broken at the moment. Kismet. Oh my gosh, Kismet. I love that colorway. It's really sad that... Okay, Kismet is the fun speckled colorway here. So what I did is I took Kismet and I did the actual amount of Kismet on the side, and then that last bit of that third skein, I used it on this one instead of using a third skein of strawberry shortcake. So I used the rest of that skein, so I used every last ounce of it, and then I still needed just a little bit. So I took a little bit of my cranberry colorway and put that on the very edge. So it's a really fun shawl. The one side has a lot of variation because of the different colors of yarn, and then this one has a lot of variation because of the speckling. And then I'm not going to put it on because I'm going to make a bunch of racket. Did not even weave the ends in. That's so hilarious. I can't even tell you how long ago that I finished this, but as you can see, those weaves, those ends are not woven in. But I have used this. But it's enormous, and it's a blanket, like a huge lap blanket. It's not a little throw, it's a big one. And so that's the first one. This one I'm leaning more towards greens first of all, because I have some remnants, so I went for all the greens and blues. And then I'm going to switch, and I probably will continue because, well, we'll see. If I use up all of this, my balsam fir colorway, then that will be it. Otherwise, I'm going to translate it onto the opposite side. And I have some really cool vintage colors that my mom gave me. She bought these before I was born. I think when she lived in East Coast. I can't think of names. Anyway, it's this really fun boucle that is deep, rich colorways. So I have 2.5 skeins maybe of those. And then I've got 2 skeins of this vintage mohair. Also nice, deeper colors. So the other half will be more like violet and greens. But then that also kind of ties in with the green. So I thought that would be fun. That's that one. More of the cool colors where that first half and half has blended itself more towards warm colors. So that's a fun little project. I have been working on that for a long time. And I just fit it in when I can or I feel like it. And it's a really great one to bring like when you're gathering in groups, things like that. So you can chat like I can knit on that and talk to you and have a conversation with somebody because it's literally just knitting, and I've knit now long enough that my body just will do it. And I still check myself. Don't get me wrong. Like I still look down, but I have that muscle memory that you build when you do something enough. So it's a really nice project. Anyway, especially if you're trying to learn how to knit without looking. I highly recommend this project. It would be great for that. Great practice. And if you drop a stitch, it's pretty easy to fix it. Okay. So those are my works in progress. And one other kind of, obviously I'm just chomping at the bit to knit a new project. And the jaunty would be that project. And I'm trying to get there. Once I finish spinning that yarn, then I can start casting that on. But until I cast that on, I'm just really wanting to knit a little. I want to knit a project. I want to knit something new. I just want to cast something on. You get that rush of, I don't know, probably, endorphin. I don't know. I just want to knit something new, something fun. And I do want, obviously the jaunty. I really want to work on that. But I also need another hat. The hats that I currently have, I really only have 2 really warm hats. One is like super warm. It's Angora. So it's fully Angora, all Angora. So it's super fluffy and warm. Oh, I guess, no, take that back. It's about 80% Angora, and then there's alpaca striping throughout. So I do have that hat. And then I also have the exact same hat, but it's a woolly wool, very woolly wool. And I love that hat, but that's more like, I'm trying to look for another hat that is more of just a little beanie almost style that I can pull on, especially when I'm doing chores with the sheep, and it keeps my head really warm, especially my ears. So my ears get really cold because these other hats are very warm, but because of the style of the hat, it's got like a little brim. And when I put my awesome headlamp on, I've got like this band that goes around your head that has this really bright lamp on it, and it's amazing. And you can see like all the, like everywhere around, even your peripheral. It's amazing. Yeah, when I put that on top of that hat, it shifts and it pulls the hat up, and then my ears aren't covered, and that's just no good. And I have a hat that is a beanie, but it's acrylic, and it's not terribly warm when it gets really, really cold. So this is my option that I'm looking into. It's a double hat. It's by Suvi Knits, and I cannot remember if I bought this. I think it's a free pattern. It's called the double hat. And I'll, of course, include a link below. But so she has it where it is this cream color, and it's alpaca or mohair. Yeah, mohair lace weight held with fingering weight to get like a DK. And so DK weight is kind of like what you're aiming for. And I just had another thought while I'm sitting here. Oh, I don't know. I want want to do that or not. No, I don't want to do that. I'm talking to myself here. Okay. Oh no. I've got this really fun, it's called Crazy Palettes. And it's this like really vibrant, super fun. I got it in a swap with a buddy a couple years ago. It's really fun, and I would like to make a fun hat with it. This hat would be perfect for that. It just depends, I guess, what yarn I end up using. So I don't know. That kind of intrigued me as something that I could do, but because it's a dual layer hat, that's the cool part. It's totally reversible if you want it to be. And so these are some fun colors that I was thinking of using. This is not my first hand spun, but it definitely ranks up there as a hand spun for my earlier spinning experience. So we definitely have a thicker, it leans a little bit thicker. It's definitely overspun. But it's super fun. It's called Horse Girl Energy is the colorway, and it's by Supernova Dye Works. And it's a merino 30% stellina. And it's super vibrant. Not vibrant necessarily with the color, but vibrant because of the stellina. The stellina, I don't know if you can see it, it's that really bright stellina. As I said, icicle stellina, which icicle stellina is not exactly the softest either. It kind of has a texture to it. So it's not the softest thing in the world, but I do think as an outer colorway, this would be good. And then the inner colorway could be something soft. And I've got this really nice skein. You only need about 142 yards, which both of these I have more than enough. And this is a Romney, 75% Romney, 20% Surrey alpaca, and 5% silk blend from, I think it's Lazy Dog Fiberworks. I did this pretty recently. I'd say within this past year, I spun this one up. And I love that. That was really fun. And I feel like those would go nicely together. This is like the interior because it's very soft, where this has a little more texture because, again, like I said, I overspun it. And then it also has the icicle stellina, which is not as soft. But it's a super fun colorway, but it's not like I'm itching to have this around my neck. See what I did there? Like, it would probably make me itch just because that stellina is not the friendliest. And it's also bordering on rope. So I feel like those together would be really nice to make that hat. So that's something I was just thinking about here, that to make myself feel good, I was thinking about a new project. And I need to continue to work on that spinning because I really want to work on that jaunty. My goal is to cast on that jaunty this weekend. So hopefully next week, when we meet again, I can talk about the jaunty and show you some progress, because that would be awesome. It would make me feel good. So I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. I'd love to hear some of the projects you're up to. If you cast on anything new, or you're just thinking of new knits, now that the season it's still winter, but now that the holidays have passed, a lot of people are kind of thinking of their goals for the year. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to think of and be more new goal oriented in the springtime. So when, the ground starts turning green and the temperature starts rising and new life and new things start appearing, everything starts waking back up. That's kind of how I feel as well. So like in the springtime, that's when I tend to want to make goals for the new year. So I am focusing on trying to be healthy, and that's something that I'm focusing on this year. But then I really think I'm going to pay more attention to my goal setting when that comes. So like springtime end of things. So One thing I'd like to do at some point, in the semi-near future, actually, because I don't like to have things just languishing and, like, I don't know. So this is a really neat project. It will be a labor of love. So this blanket, pretty sure my mom made it. And I think she made it for, I think it was my quilt. I'm not 100% on any of this. Actually, I take that back. Well, she might have made this, but I do have another quilt that I know was my quilt, and I'm looking at it. So I have 2 quilts to work on. And I won't be super long-winded on this because, but I need to repair them. So they've been loved, as they should be. They should be loved. But like, it's cotton and it starts to wear and tear, literally. So I'm trying to kind of figure out how I want to repair it. Some of these areas I'm probably going to have to put another different fabric on, like just because of how thin it is. Like, I don't think I can just embroider over it or something. I think some of this is going to need some more serious intervention than that. But I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I do want to do something with it. And I just repaired something, a pillowcase actually, that had some serious wear on it, and it was just starting to tear at the seam a little bit. So I repaired it and I stitched it by hand. I haven't just hand sewn something in a while, and that felt really good. It feels good to take care of the things that we have and mend them. I haven't done a lot of mending in a while, so I have a bunch of socks I need to mend that are hand knit though. So I do need to do it. But it felt really good. There is something to be said about very slowly working on something completely by hand. So these projects will be involved, but I'm excited about it. I think this one's going to be the most involved, this quilt, where my other quilt, I think there's just a little bit, and the edging needs to be repaired. But I don't think the edging is going to be that big of a deal. I don't think it will be too intense. We'll see. But that one I think is a smaller. I think it's smaller than this one. Not sure. But here, I'm looking at it. I'll show you. I'll show you because I think it's really cool. And I want to show you. So this one my mom made for me. Gosh, I cannot even remember how old I was. It's been a while. Let's see here. So, yeah, I can't really see this very well. I'm not even certain what went on here. It's funny because unless she was still, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think she ripped off the edging. I think something went down with the edging because there's a bunch of the edging on this one side's gone, totally gone, and the other side totally gone. And yeah, so it needs some serious repair in that department. But it's just really pretty. It's I think something must have gone. I was gonna say something must have gone down with the lining, because it used to have quilt batting in it, and that's not in there anymore. So it makes me think that she took that out. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with that, but I think I want to actually repair it. And I could get, you can buy it, a quilt size batting, and then you can put that in there, and then I think that I would like to do that. I just have to figure out exactly how to, but it's flannel. It's all flannel, so it's really soft and warm, and nice soft colors, and it's just comforting. It reminds me of my childhood. But yeah, it needs a little bit of love. It needs a little bit of love, but it's endearing. Anyway, she worked really hard on that, and I've never made an entire quilt before, so that one is basically almost there. It just needs a little bit of love, but to be able to finish that is a lot more realistic than trying to do one totally from scratch. So I would like to do that, is get that finished up and then fully usable again, because at the moment the edges could start to fray, if you wash it, because they're not attached to each other anymore. I really should ask her what happened because something went down if she took all of the quilt batting out of it. I don't know if it just got so worn or something that it just was, who knows? But that's definitely a fun project that I would like to do, that I think would feel really good to get done and then be able to use it. So there's that. And good, my microphone's still working. My other one I think was going to die, so I switched it. Grateful this one's still working. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk about at the moment. I think that's it. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys are up to. I hope you're doing well. I hope if you live in a climate that's darker and cold and creepy this time of year, I hope you're doing something cozy, either drinking something cozy, and I hope it brings you comfort. Yeah, we'll get through it. Anyway, yeah. But hopefully, when I talk to you guys next, I will be able to show you some of my jaunty, because that would be excellent. And yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.